Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and today we're going to talk about Lanterns, episode 2, Trustful. And I have to say, it is amazing how fucking fundamentally good this show is. And I mean this in a serious way because I want to, if you compare this to Peacemaker, right? Because the way the HBO brand works is that if the show is good, it gets the 9 p.m. Sunday HBO slot. And with the exception of the pit, it gets dumped on Max on the 9 p.m. Thursday slot. And I do think the pit should eventually move to be the Sunday HBO 9 p.m. show. I understand 15 episodes is a lot versus the 8 to 10 that every other show does. But first of all, Lanterns 2 episode in far better than House of the Dragon and Euphoria and Rooster, and I can't even remember what our other fucking HBO shows were this year. Like A Night of Seven Kingdom was good, right? And I think we went from A Night of Seven Kingdom straight into Euphoria, right? And Euphoria was okay for a while, and then Rue getting reincarnated as a cow and shoot out in the strip club and whatever. But I have to say, this show, it really shows how interesting how they're kind of getting away with plot devices. So, making Hal Jordan very lazy in charging his ring as an example of why we don't get a lot of quote unquote Green Lantern activities is a smart reason, okay? Because we believe, right? Because we see the three versions of Hal Jordan, right? '06 Hal Jordan is very responsible and a hero. 16 is kind of weathered and retired, and 2026 he dies, right? And we got a lot of information here throughout the thing, and it's still the fun dichotomy of Hal and John in the sense that because John was picked by the Lanterns, right? He was recruited. He's supposed to be the best of the best, right? He is who should be the next Green Lantern versus the whole destiny with the rings and why Hal was picked. And it's still confusing on how Guy Gardner shapes into this because we've seen the rings, right? Guy Gardner's ring isn't the Hal Jordan ring, and um, it's still confused if Guy Gardner, from what we've seen in the Superman movie and Peacekeeper and Peacemaker, whatever, he got the ring the same way, via death of somebody, and he gets the ring. And it's not from Hal Jordan's death, right? So there we go. But what is interesting is that the fucking, what the fuck, the dude, William Macon, right? Somehow has technology far more advanced than the corpse because he has alien technology detection that is all over Rushville, Nebraska. Right. Also, we learn why John is kind of the most legendary Lantern. He was able to create a sentient creature, a bird. He didn't even have the ring on him, and it stayed alive for 48 hours, right? Because they sent Hal sent John to go to Coast City to get the Lantern ring. And we see, once again, this pocket dimension thing, because everyone has a pocket dimension thing. And Hal lives in a mansion, and he hung out with Princess Diana and the Pope Benedict and a bunch of other shit. And he has this crazy carnivore alien plant. Then John gets kidnapped by the aliens that are the same aliens that we saw blow themselves up. And they inform John about what manhunters are and how powerful manhunters are, and they give him the whole spiel, and they're amazed, like, you are probably going to be a much better Lantern than Hal because you were able to create this creature alive without the ring. Okay, you don't understand how rare that is. You must truly be the best, right? Meanwhile, Hal is investigating everything on his own. His ring runs out. The city is having a Friday Night Lights conversation town hall thing, like, should we still have football? Because this is Nebraska, it's football, and football is the most important thing. Hal and the cop, the cop go to the compound carry, and they have this conversation. He's like, I think there's aliens, blah blah blah. I respect your work. They shoot Hal. Then what we learn is that Hal in his sleep talks about Sinestro, and this is 2016, so to unlock the iPhone, all you need is the thumbprint, right? Unlocks it, sees the whole Sinestro situation. Sinestro has already been defeated by Hal. He's in the Lantern's prison, and all of it. And Hal is like, "Where are you from? Because you don't seem Nebraska to him." And Carrie's like, "I'm from Gotham," right? Because she was a cop in Gotham, which means at this point, we know at least in 2016, Batman has been active, right? I assume the Joker and all this other shit, it makes sense to move the fuck out of Gotham to Nebraska. Because when the Joker is doing terrorist attacks every fucking week, do you really want to live in Gotham? Right? So that's the situation. Also, Hal brings the Green Lantern suit back. And then the episode ends. I mean, John brings that Green Lantern suit back. He has like 3 of them. I don't know how you dry clean that. Brings them stuff to it. Hal then goes to fucking space prison and talks to Sinestro about like hunters and all of it. And it's interesting to see what's going on. Also, we learn a lot with the ring. The ring only takes 3 minutes to charge, right? So I don't know why Hal doesn't keep it around. But the ring only lasts for 48 hours. Really? That just doesn't seem right. It feels like the ring should at least last a week. Whatever. But that's happening. And, Hal's then kind of realizing, oh, there must be white mesh hunters in the. It kind of links to the destiny is that the original lantern that Hal got his ring from probably had a white manhunter body on him and it crash landed somewhere. And that's why it works. We also see John still doesn't know how to fly with the ring and all of it, and them still sharing a ring. It's interesting. We also see in 26, John doesn't have a ring yet, so I guess he just doesn't become a lantern, and it's interesting, but he can still be a lantern. We know John Stewart is in Superman 2, so I guess by the end of this show, he gets a lantern. And this is where I'm going to get confused, because this show is actually good, right? We can see, though, James Gunn has 0 involvement in this show. The only thing was, like, he had, because I guess in Gunn's vision, Guy Gardner came first, and they had to like retrofit everything to do John and Hal to do this show. And now we're here with this situation because I am hoping, right? Listen, I understand everyone like Guy Gardner and Nathan Fillion and all the bullshit, but I am hoping because John seems much more serious than a lot of the fucking bullshit's happening in the DC universe. I hope John Stewart ends up our Green Lantern in the movies, and I do hope we get. It is interesting. We're just here, right? Sinestro's already been defeated. A bunch of other things. I just gotta say, respect to this show because this show is far better than most of the superhero garb. It is better than I think, with the exception of Loki, it is better than any fucking of the Disney Plus shows we've gotten because the Disney Plus shows have been a disaster. This show is obviously better than the CW shows, but this show was originally conceived to be like a Berlanti when Berlanti was like, "Oh, we're gonna do HBO Max now, and we're kind of ending the Arrowverse." Like you can kind of see the thing, but the difference Berlanti shows are always about to be like hot 20-year-olds. I understand. I forgot how old is Aaron Pierre. Aaron Pierre is 32, right? Also millennial, right? Once again, we're here in the millennial superheroes, right? Great. I wonder what happens because here's the other thing is we got some information because of the Paramount Warner merger. The Gunn Batman movie is on hold. The Brave and the Bold until the merger is done. Because if I were to guess, Ellison wants a Batman in this universe much sooner because the Reeves Batman situation is taking far too long. And the fact that we've had a Supergirl movie that sucked, if Clayface bombs, right, and Superman 2 bombs, and we're 1 in 3 with the Gunn universe, but like, whatever. I wouldn't mind because, like, I get it. We have our John Stewart, Green Lantern. We have Superman. I assume Adria Ramos is Wonder Woman, right? And that, right? She still hasn't filmed anything for Superman 2. I assume she's Wonder Woman. It seems pretty much she has to be Wonder Woman because she has to be Wonder Woman, right? So we're gonna have Wonder Woman. We need a Batman. Okay, this whole Clayface movie and no Batman is fucking stupid. This chick who maybe worked with Batman when she lived in Gotham City, right? Like this whole thing is more annoying. It's kind of like when the Supergirl show in the CW first premiered, right? The first season, for whatever reason, they never said Superman. They were all like, my cousin, your cousin, my cousin, your cousin, the cousin. Like it became this weird thing and it became so annoying that, look, I understand the whole thing. He's supposed to have a Damian, the Titans have existed, whatever. Just, you got to do it because you got to put a Batman. It's been a while. When did the Reeves Batman? 22? come out. Like we need some shit. Okay. Either way, fantastic episode. Next episode is the Jon Stewart origin of why he was picked by the Lanterns. Right. We're doing 2 origins next. I've seen the first 4, but just right. We're doing the Jon Stewart origin, the whole, kind of how it's like domestic violence on Jon Stewart's life and why he's like very confident. And we're also doing the Sinestro, Hal origin and the Martians and all that. That's what next week's episode is. Right. There you go.